What is one word that describes Braden Wong?
Inspiring.
Intense.
Hilarious.
Playful.
Confident.
Braden.
Energetic.
Leader.
Funny guy.
Spontaneous.
Energetic. Intense and a really good dancer.
Fun. Energetic. Ichiban!
Funny.
Passionate.
Spontaneous.
Smart.
Inspiring.
Passionate. Jazzy. Really genuine.
A friend.
Playful. Amazing. Quirky. Hecka cool.
Outgoing. Passionate.
Charismatic.
Energetic.
Braden.
I am myself. No matter what others describe me as, I define myself as who I know I really am. Not as someone attempting to imitate another, or as someone who lies to themselves about their identity. I am Braden Wong. No more, no less. If I could name one thing that I am grateful for from high school, it would be that my 4 years in high school taught me how to understand and accept myself. My high school experience was not defined by the restless nights of studying, by what grades I received, or by what college I got accepted into. High school to me was the personal hardships that I learned to overcome, and the self-discoveries that I encountered that molded me into the person I am today. However, if I were to talk about how high school personally affected me, it would be wrong if I did not include the people that have impacted me as well. The late Dr. Seuss once said, "Be who you are and say what you feel, because those who mind don't matter, and those who matter don't mind." And as it turns out, those who matter have a whole story of their own to tell.
Why did you join marching band?
I joined marching band because we were going to the Macy's parade, and I wanted to go to New York.
I wanted to get some exercise, I guess.
Saw how awesome Mr. Byrne was, and I knew some of the people in there, and one of my friends, Emily Gal, was actually, she went to Macy's.
It was something that no one in my family had done, and I wanted to be sort of like a trailblazer in my family, because everybody in my family played sports. I mean, I do too, but I was the only one who had anything to do with music.
It incorporated music, which is something I really like, and it also incorporated movement, and I like to stay active.
Well, I joined marching band because I saw everyone going to the Macy's Thanksgiving parade, and I wanted to be a part of something that was really good.
Marching band is one of the areas where I started defining myself, I think, in high school. Middle school, I was definitely a very quiet kid, wasn't really outgoing, and I wanted to change that. Marching band was a great outlet for me to meet different people, not just from my class, but seniors, juniors, and sophomores all saw each other in the same way. Me as an incoming freshman into high school, I didn't see them as upperclassmen and as these higher up hierarchy people like they usually have in middle school, but I saw it as one unit.
The next year, I just joined it because I had a lot of friends there, and I made a lot of really awesome relationships.
Freshman year, I had joined marching band because my brother was in it. I had been to the performances and helped out for all the years he had been a member of the band. Because of this, I already knew the outer layer of the program that I was signing up for. Up till high school, I had played trombone throughout elementary and middle school, and marching band was a way for me to continue pursuing my passion for performing. Going into my first day of marching band, I knew I would be joining a physically challenging activity and expected to improve my playing.
You stay in marching band.
I stayed in marching band because I feel like the seniors, my freshman year, really influenced me a lot, and they were a really good example, and they sort of showed what the potential was.
It's my calling. I don't know, it's become such a huge part of who I am, I can't imagine myself without it.
Obviously, it wasn't the exercise aspect, because that was kind of really... Am I allowed to say profanities, Braden?
What?
Am I allowed to say the H word?
Sure.
Okay, the exercise was a little bit of hell, but the people I was with helped me get through it.
Working on one specific thing, everyone has a common goal, and being able to achieve that at the end is really rewarding.
Marching band is one of those things where it's about the journey and not the actual end result, or that score that most people talk about.
Well, my section and just all the cool people that I met, and also because of the shows and how much they meant to me and how I just felt awesome doing it.
I really enjoyed the experience of marching band, where it's like we're together as one, where it's more like not really an individual kind of thing.
The journey where I made so many friends, it was just amazing. In addition, those few moments when you're playing the piece of music, you can just feel the actual emotion of the music coming out. It's like a new experience. It's a warm, fuzzy feeling that you just want to keep getting over and over.
Why did I stay in marching band? Well, one of the reasons was because of a life-changing game that I learned how to play during freshman year, called Pterodactyl. The people playing get into a circle and, going in a clockwise motion, attempt to say the word pterodactyl without showing their teeth or laughing. If you lose the game and get out of the circle if you do show your teeth or laugh. However, the player can change to go to the other direction if they shriek out like a pterodactyl to the other person. And this game continues for as long as the circle wants it to play. So, I hope everyone was paying attention. From the scared, insecure freshman to the senior brass captain, this game has brought me joy and happiness throughout every season. It helped relieve me of any stress I had prior to a competition, and was a great way to introduce myself and meet new people. And yet, the most fun from the game is not who wins at the end. It is the spontaneity of the course of the game that is the most memorable. To me, marching band is heavily embodied within this game. To me, marching band brought me leadership and confidence within myself. To me, marching band taught me to respect everyone equally, no matter their background. To me, marching band showed me that it is okay to be the ridiculous, spontaneous person that I am, and that I should not deny others that same opportunity. To me, marching band means family. A family outside of my own, and a family where the memories made outweigh anything that occurs at the end.
Ready? What does marching band mean to you?
Marching band is like a family to me. I can talk to anyone and be myself, and we can all do the same thing together and just be a unit, a family that cooperates and plays music and spreads that emotion to other people in the audience.
Marching band is basically family to me, and it's a way that I can vent out and just be with the people that I love. And it's also, I don't know, I really feel a connection with my religion to it, so that's really cool.
To me, marching band is a way to really relieve the stress of regular school life, I guess, especially with academics, and I didn't really do a lot of physical activity before that, so just moving around helped a lot, and also you really become close to the people in your section, and even other people not in your section, they're sort of like your second family.
In marching band, I don't have time to think about the bad things. I just have time to think about, oh, I want to do this with him. For example, playing pterodactyl.
When I was in marching band, I enjoyed it because of the challenge, because of the discipline required for the activity, and because of the great friendships that I built during my time.
What does marching band mean to you?
Family.
It's family. It's love. It's life.
Everything. I started freshman year, met some amazing people. They inspired me to keep at it, work hard, and now it's something I'm considering doing in college.
I've been doing it 4 years in high school. This past year was my 3rd year in college. Hopefully I'll be able to do it a 4th time this upcoming semester, but I think marching band is really important to me because it reflects my personality, and I think it also is a great outlet for me to show off to other people who I truly am and to definitely grow on my own strengths and to even grow on the weaknesses that I've acknowledged.
Every student entering high school was immediately joining a club or playing a sport, and I wanted to do the same. I didn't want to be that loser who didn't join any clubs when he was a freshman. The biggest club on campus at the time was this club called Interact. Interact is a community service and volunteering club. My brother was in it, a lot of my friends were joining, so I decided to join as well. Through my freshman and sophomore year within the club, I saw volunteering as a simple way to help the community and give back to those in need. It was all about getting the most hours and the need to feel wanted, to belong somewhere. And yet, I felt alone within a club of 200 people. But after sending in an application and passing an interview held by members of Rotary International during my junior year, I, along with 9 other Interact members, was sent to attend Camp Ryla.
Scary. Oh god. Don't interview me, please.
Okay, ready?
Ready.
What happened at Ryla?
Ryla? Do I answer that right now? Like, right now?
A lot of things happened at Ryla, many of which that I can't say.
Ryla is basically a week-long summer camp filled with interactors and students sponsored under Rotary International.
And basically what we did is how we learned to help the community as well as make it a better place for the world, as well as showing that not one person, everyone has a chance to make a difference, whether it be alone or in a group.
And it's just a week-long camp, and you get to meet new people and experience leadership workshops.
I think at Ryla, people just see it as just like a camp, but I came out of it like coming out as a new person.
So most of all, you get to build relations with the people around you. These are people you've never really met before, never really gotten to know, yet they're there for you, and they give you so much, I don't know, happiness, and they're so friendly and eager to be your friend.
It allowed me to better myself in terms of confidence, as well as being more approachable and having a lot more self-worth than I did before I went.
Throughout my high school career, like freshman, sophomore, junior year, I didn't really know who I was. I just like went along with the flow, not knowing what I was doing.
Coming from a household that doesn't really offer that kind of support, going to Ryla was like invigorating. It gave me the support and the drive that I needed to come back and be ambitious and go towards my goals pretty much.
Coming out of Camp Ryla, I think I finally found out like what I wanted to do in life. I had a solid answer as to like my viewpoints and who are my close friends.
Honestly, Ryla opened my eyes to a whole new point of view that I didn't really have in my community. It made me feel reassured that I wasn't alone in my passions and in my struggles, and I feel like without Ryla I wouldn't be where I am today.
Fear. Spending a week in the Santa Cruz Mountains with 200 strangers that were chosen, like myself, to learn about leadership. Discovery. Observing talent shows and musicals held by other members and attending leadership workshops that tested my perception, knowledge of others, and knowledge of myself. Epiphany. Undergoing activities that made me realize more about myself than anything else prior, leaving myself and others in tears of self-realization. Family. The interwoven community made of selfless, generous, and compassionate people that surround me each and every day of my life. The week that I spent at the Rotary Youth Leadership Award program taught me that a leader is not always the person in charge or is given a specific title over others. A leader does not put himself upon a pedestal or crown himself superior, but instead places themselves on equal terms with everyone else. A leader puts the needs of others before their own desires and constantly strives to empower the world around him. Ryla brought me insight into my leadership. Ryla taught me not to be afraid of the person that I am and to accept and ignore the judgment of others. Ryla lifted the blindfold that covered my eyes, that shaded me from my dreams and aspirations. And above all else, Ryla reintroduced me to something that I had lost for many years, how to find my happiness, and how to find my smile again. At the beginning of my first year of high school, my mother was diagnosed with breast cancer. I was frustrated. I was concerned and angry and in denial of the whole situation. What I didn't show to others was that I was scared. I was scared that the woman that had cared for me for my entire life would leave me forever. I was scared for how she would be able to survive the whole ordeal and what kind of treatment she would have to receive. For my first years of high school, I was constantly shrouded with fear and frustration. These two emotions would follow me everywhere I went and come up from any subject. But how does one deal with fear and frustration?
I guess how I get over frustration, I tend to be really hard on myself. Whether it's in schoolwork or extracurriculars, how I tend to get through that is usually on the introverted side, where I have to clock myself out from everything that I'm doing and really focus in on myself, really silence everything around me, kind of distance myself away from the schoolwork, really thinking about my goals and where I want to be, how I'm getting there, and is it really that important to be frustrated?
Sometimes sleeping on it is another thing. Sometimes you're not always going to be able to come up with the answer, so a lot of times you think you have to come up with the answer right away. Sometimes the answer won't be there right away.
Frustration isn't something that we should really dwell upon that much. It should be, where are your goals? How far away are you from reaching those goals? And what will it take for you to get there?
I laugh. I laugh at myself first because that gets me through it.
Sometimes talking to other people will help, because a lot of these things that have come up, a lot of them are, unique. Probably somebody else has gone through it before.
I think it's really important to set your standards and to stick with it and not to stray away from that.
People say that with time the pain will pass, but sure, it won't be in the front of your mind for a while, but then there's always times where it just comes back and you can't do anything about it.
So when I tend to seclude myself away from everything else and I silence everything else again, that's the time where I have to really sit down, think about where I want to be, how I'm going to get there, and then the frustration just kind of goes away.
I think with time, you get to cope with it better. It doesn't necessarily go away, but you just learn how to deal with it.
My mom would leave every treatment with a smile, while I would sulk behind her with my head down. She would laugh while reading a book about cancer research while I stayed in my room. And when the doctors notified my family that my mom no longer had any signs of cancer within her body, she still had the same smile spread across her face. During junior year, a close family friend was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer, a type of cancer that does not have any known cure or treatment. I felt the frustration returning to me, consuming my thoughts with negativity and fear. And yet, she would never stop smiling. Every person, every picture, every gesture was approached with a smile and a positive attitude. Although high school has thrown countless moments of frustration and incidences where fear consumes my mind, I know that I'm able to overcome any obstacle by staying true to what makes me happy.
What makes you happy?
What really makes me happy is being able to imagine, most of all. I love to think about things that could exist and try to make them happen and make other people happy.
Just seeing everybody else happy, family happy, everybody sort of accomplishing what they want to do. So I think everybody else being happy makes me happy.
My children, believe it or not. What makes me happy is so I don't have to wake up braid them in the morning.
Things like my art, my freedom to express my individuality, and of course my passion for service. But on a much larger scale than that, I feel like my happiness comes from, my support system that I often take for granted. So this would be like my friends and a couple of close family members. Because I feel like without them, you know, I wouldn't have the strength and confidence to be passionate about my art, to do my art, and to openly express my individuality and my opinions and passions.
With friends and family, enjoying their company, and having the freedom to go where I want to go and be with the people I want to be with.
Spending time with my friends and family and my cousins, it's just like, you don't really have to have anything planned to be happy, it's just spontaneous at times.
I am happy when I see my friends and family brighten up with smiles and laughter. I am happy when I'm able to fully understand something, whether it be about myself or something else. I'm happy when I see my long-term goals finally come to fruition in the end. I'm happy when I'm able to wake up with a smile on my face and fall asleep doing the same because I'm perfectly content with the life that I'm living. I do not only receive happiness at the end of a journey. I find my happiness through self-acceptance and understanding, the moments of fear and frustration that I have to overcome, and from the people around me that I'm fortunate enough to share my life with. People tell me that I'm going to be graduating in June of 2015. They tell me that I now have adult responsibilities, that I need to be more mature. They tell me that I'm going to leave my former high school years behind me and enter a new chapter of my life in college. My time in high school, however, is not defined by only 4 years. Every experience and memory throughout high school has molded me into the person that I am today. Everyone that I've met in my 4 years, no matter how great, has made an impact on my understanding of myself and the life that I'm given. A great man once said, "Everything happens for a reason, whether it is for better or for worse." I do not deny anything that has happened to me in high school and accept the future that I'm sure to face. Every individual's own experiences have happened to them for a reason, but it is up to the individual to choose whether those experiences change them. Although my journey through high school nears its conclusion, the people that I meet, the challenges that I encounter and overcome, and the acceptance and appreciation of myself that I gain along the way are far more important than any possible end result. I am Braden Wong. No more and no less.